Dying Light 2 Stay Human. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. The virus won and civilization has fallen back to the dark ages. The city, one of the last human settlements, is on the brink of collapse. Use your agility and combat skills to survive, that's if you can read by the case, and reshape the world. Your choices your choices matter. They matter, guys. Welcome to part 2 of my Dying Light 2 review. The first part focused on how the game ran, the frames with ray tracing on, single player, the missions, the nighttime timer, X-ray vision or wall hacks as it should be called, all of that stuff, the story, the characters, the voiceover. So I'm not going to go into that in this part. If you want to see about that, go and watch the first one. This is going to concentrate on co-op and my experience playing it for another. I'm now pretty much 20 hours in, and just my experience in general on that. So co-op is the thing that I wanted to play with this game. This is the thing that most people, I would say, want to play in this game, and unfortunately the co-op is totally broken. Even if you can get into co-op, there's a lot of people getting disconnects. I personally can't even get into co-op. It's completely and utterly broken. When you go into the online options in the game, mine just permanently says disconnected. Doesn't matter what I do, it permanently disconnects me. Now, my girlfriend, who sits in the same room as me, on the same internet service provider as me, she's connected all the time, so it works for her. But if I put my Steam client on her PC and log in on that, she then can't play with my account. So it's bound to your Steam account. It's something to do with your Steam account that does this. It's locking out a lot of people. But like I say, even if you do get in, there's problems with the loot, problems with progression, problems with people getting disconnected. It's a complete clusterfuck, the actual co-op in this game. So it's pointless talking about it anymore. That's what it is. It's broken for huge numbers of people. There's tons and tons of threads on Steam about it, especially in the actual thread that the developers posted where they said co-op fix is now live. A lot of people just posted in that, including myself, just saying, well, it still doesn't work for me. So it's a massive problem. So don't listen to the fanboys who say co-op works fine, because yes, it does for some people, but for thousands of others it just doesn't. And if you buy this game, you could be one of them unlucky ones. And the big problem is there's a very long tutorial that gets you into the open world, and that could take you 2 hours depending on how you play the game, so you couldn't refund it. My girlfriend, by the time she got to the point where co-op didn't work, where she could try co-op and it didn't work for us, it was too late to refund. She'd played it for 2 hours and 10 minutes, so she couldn't refund the game. So word of warning there. Next thing I want to talk about is the absolute shit state of the keyboard and mouse rebinds. Now this, I didn't mention the first one because when I reviewed it, the day one patch hadn't been out. So there was a lot of things that I just let slip because I knew I was going to do another part to this. So they were things that I didn't mention because I just assumed that would be fixed in a day one patch. But no, they didn't get fixed. You cannot bind a lot of keys to your mouse button, which sucks. Some keys are hard bound on the keyboard as well that you can't actually change. For example, you will get a perk system that you put into your combat and your parkour, and as you level that up, you will get new abilities, and they will tell you what key activates them. You can't rebind them keys. They aren't available in the key rebinds. But worse than that, guys, the keys that you can bind, the few that you can bind, don't work if you rebind them and then try to do an upgraded ability. For example, the basic kick just kicks straight in front of you. I rebound that because I don't like where kick is. It's E. I don't like that. I don't use Wasad. So I rebound that, and it worked fine in the game. But then I got a perk that allowed me to jump off a building onto the top of somebody, and if I pressed kick on the way down, it would do like a drop kick on them. That totally didn't work. Another one was crouch. If you press crouch in the game, which is C default, I rebound mine and it works fine. I use S, I press that and it crouches. But I unlocked a perk that when you jump off a high building, just before you land, if you press crouch, you'll do a forward roll, keeping your momentum going. Again, that doesn't work. So basically, these keys only work if you use the default setting. So if you, what I've done is I've made a macro on my keyboard, so easily done with the keyboard I've got, so that I've rebound them keys so they
are the keys that I want, but they are still inputting the default key, if you know what I mean. So it works for me. But if you don't have a keyboard that does macros and you don't use WASD, you are screwed completely, because you cannot use a lot of the abilities that you're going to unlock. Another thing that I thought would be fixed was the clunk. It's very clunky when you're trying to loot stuff. You've got to move it around, get it in the right position till the little highlighted to press this key to loot comes up. That's just a little thing, but it's still a problem. I'm also now running into a lot of bugs in the missions. Really bad bugs, broken bugs in the story, so I can't progress the story. One of the bugs was it's a really nasty one in this mission where I had to chase Waltz through a car park, a car factory. You're supposed to go up to a big door and it won't open, but when you press the button, the waypoint changes and it says there's no power on the door, find another way or something, and the waypoint points up to a secret way with a bit of parkour that you can get up and over the door. Now when I pressed the button about 1,000 times, nothing happened. The waypoint stuck on the button, so I just looked around, found my own way over it, got over it, and then when I got to the other side, I couldn't do a damn thing. And because I was in a dark area, my timer started going down and I died. I was trapped behind that door because the mission hadn't updated. I quit the game, looked up a tutorial to see if I'd done something wrong, and I found that when you press the button, it should have updated the mission. That's how I know that should have happened. It just didn't. When I rebooted the game back up, it updated the checkpoints and had as if I had pressed the button. So that was crazy. I then had to do a lot of stuff behind there, fighting a monster, switching the power back on. I did all that, and then I meet a gang, and during the gang fight you change into something. I didn't. I just beat them all up with my bat. Nothing happened. And so again, after I'd beat them all up, the mission was completely, because what's supposed to happen, you change into this thing and you get superhuman strength, and then you pass out and you wake up and you're given a mission objective. Well, that never happened for me, so I've just quit. I've just give up now. I can't single player's f***ed, co-op's f***ed. This game's just f***ed completely. Alongside all the broken stuff, you can't walk, you permanently run. There's no saves, just checkpoints that put you miles away sometimes when you log off. It's got poor story, poor voiceovers. It doesn't run that well, although there was an update to the NVIDIA drivers, which makes it run a little bit, quite a bit better, but still not brilliant. You got your X-ray vision wall hacks. There's just so much wrong with this game for £55. And the really sad thing about it is these self-publish. These aren't under the corporate suits of a publisher. These could have fixed this game themselves. They're not being pressured, oh, you must release it this day. They could have put it back. If they tested this game properly, which obviously they haven't, no wonder there was an embargo for co-op. They knew co-op was f***ed, but they still took our money. And do you know something? The fanboys now on the forums, all they're doing now is damage control. They ain't even playing the game. These people who profess to love the game, they're spending all the time on the forums just defending the game. If anybody dare post anything, no, the game's fine, game works fine, game's fine. Oh, God. These sad, spineless people. These are the same people, by the way, when you were at school and you flicked an elastic band at Karen's head. They go, please sir, Max flicked an elastic band. No, these are the little brown-nosing twats who just won't admit when there's a problem with a game. But the problems are with the game. If you go on the forums and just have a read for yourselves, don't take my word, just look at the absolute... I mean, there's probably thousands now of posts of people disconnecting, stuck on a mission, games crashing, runs like shit, lots and lots of bugs, falling through the scenery, quests won't complete. It's an absolute shitfest, this game, and this is why you should never ever pre-order a game. So there you go, guys. I wanted this to be good so much that I got a key off the developer, but I also spent £55 to buy one so I could play this co-op. You know, I want this game to succeed. I'm not a hater, but at the end of the day, I've got to look at the facts, and this is the problem. You know, I'll be branded a hater for this, but the facts speak for themselves. And, you know, I'm just going to tell the truth. I've got no agenda, no bias. If a game sucks, if a game's broken, if a game is unplayable at times, then I'm going to call it out for that. And if that gets me flack, well, so be it. But I ain't changing. I ain't a shill. Never will be. This game's in a mess and needs a hell of a lot of work and should never have been released. And can I just say before I go, all the shit I get for reviewing early access games by people. Oh, you see it in the comments. As soon as you said early access, that was me out, man. That's me out, man. I don't do early access games, man. No, but you'll play this fucking shite that's full of bugs with half the fucking features not working. What's the difference? At least the early access games have the balls to say, hey, look, the game ain't fucking finished. This, it gives you fucking money. £55, please? Oh, is it broken? Oops. We had no idea.